What's up, everybody? The Destroyer here. Welcome back to another cast of the Rise of the Witch King Patch 2.2 version 6. Today we have a 2v2 on Tournament Anorien. So let's see who is in this match today. We have Hombre as the Goblins in the bottom left, and his ally for this match is MayShadowF. MayShadow, of course, his Goblins are in the bottom right. His opponents today are Sania. Sania as Dwarves there in top left, and his ally is YodA, or just YodA in this case. Is Mordor there in the top right. Cool. So we got YodA as Mordor, Sania as Dwarves, Hombre is Goblins, and MayShadow's Goblins. Cool. So we'll see who wins out in this match. This is Tournament Anorien, of course. There's troll layers there and there. There's also a signal fire in the center, which is great to capture for vision, as well as power reduction, as you would expect, and a couple warglers on the sides for some creepage. And there you go. Pretty straightforward map, but I like this map quite a bit. It's very balanced, very good. It's a good map. Definitely a good alternative to Buckland, in my opinion, and stuff like that. But it looks like Hombre is going for Goblin Warriors, as you would expect him to do, as well as MayShadow is doing the same. So they'll get their Goblin spam out quick. YodA is going for Orc Pits, getting 2 of them out, and he'll be getting Orc Spam out quickly. So that'll be good. He'll need it, because if you want to keep up with the Goblins, of course you're going to have to spam some Orcs to do so. And it looks like we have Guardians being brought out by Sania. Does Sania have a forward mine anywhere? There's this builder. He does indeed. And of course there's nothing around MayShadow or Hombre's base. Oh, Hombre's just out of vision range to be able to see this. Although this won't actually have any vision range in its building state. So he actually will run into it, though. Unlucky. But there are Guardians there to defend it, so I think he'll be okay. Guardian should be more than enough. But he's going to position himself around the back and try and take it down. Looks like Sony's smart. Demolishes that, gets 149 back out of that. Hombre getting his builder out, also demolishing his thing there, his tunnel. Power-wise, Hombre has chosen the Cave Bats as his thing. And it looks like we have MayShadow choosing War Chant. YodA sending some Orcs actually over here to harass the Goblin player, Hombre. Interesting. Little teamwork there. Very nice. YodA has chosen Eye of Sauron. Sania has Rally Call. Alright, let's go back to observing all players here. There we go. Alright, Hombre's got 1 battalion of Goblins into the Dwarven base, and he's actually got a forward tunnel there. Oh, MayShadow does. Interesting. That could make for some nasty play. So MayShadow now can load up some Goblins and start harassing Sania's base there. Which would be pretty destructive, because I don't think he'll have enough guys to defend against that. YodA's doing a good job of defending with his Orc Warriors there. Very nice. Goblin Warriors, of course, are stronger than Orc Warriors, I think. Because of the Poison Blades. Maybe even without the Poison Blades, I'm not sure. I'm not entirely positive. But, of course, we do have Goblin Archers there to help. Make short work of melee units with swords in hand. Sania does have some Guardians clogging up this area here. It looks like YodA's throwing them Eye of Sauron on them as well. These Guardians will have no problem killing any of these rabble. Goblin scum. But once they get out of there, they should be a bit difficult to catch, of course, for the Dwarves. Battle Wagon would be great. Battle Wagons, of course, can pop out of mines now. So he could put a Battle Wagon in there, pop it out, run over the Goblin Warriors, pop it back in, go elsewhere. I think Siege Works would be good if he can get that quickly. But he seems to be doing alright for the time being. YodA's got Goblin Orc Archers and Orc Warriors now. The Orc Archers are tanking the damage. Probably doesn't want that. But they are killing him fairly rapidly, so I think we'll be fine. And it looks like Hombre's got a fair amount of guys here. We do have Axe Throwers out from Sania now. They're being killed off pretty rapidly there. And you should be able to get that mine without too much issue. Got Goblins pouring out of MayShadow's base now. He's up to 5 Goblin Caves almost. 5th one is building. And it looks like his partner Hombre has a Spider Pit now and 2 Goblin Caves. So he won't be able to put out as much spam, but if he wants to, he can upgrade to Spider Riders. And that will be pretty effective against the Dwarves, as long as there's no Phalanx units out in the field. Of course, you have to go for a few tramples with the Dwarves, because they're so sturdy. There's a lot of Dwarves in this mineshaft. I wonder if Sania is planning on putting them out. Curious minds would like to know. I guess we'll find out soon enough when we see a big green blob of Dwarves pour onto the mini-map. For the time being, we'll watch this gigantic battle over here. 3 of the spam factions going at it. There's the Dwarves army. Just pulled him out here, and he's going to be moving south. Probably hitting that troll or warglare on the way there. He does have a large horde of goblins coming his way between MayShadow and Hombre. Both of them have both their armies together. And it looks like he'll still have some guys left over to defend YodA's attacks here. YodA's still a bit on the defensive because of all these goblins running through his base. He's got orc warriors everywhere. And he's also sending some over here also. I think I already said also. That's alright. I just wanted to emphasize the point. Of course. Of course. Axlors, of course, wreck goblins. I think they one-shot them. They are not the tankiest against goblin poisons and blades, so he doesn't need to get them out of there and get some guardians or phalanxes in front of him if he wants to save their lives. And down goes the rally call and the war chant on the respective armies. The Dwarves should win this out pretty easily, though. Even with buffs, goblins are not going to defeat buff wargs. Wargs? Dwarves. Maybe not even buff wargs. Ooh, and a couple of spider riders, nice trample there. Managed to kill a lot of the Axlor battalion. If he goes through again, get this one. Nice. Very nice indeed. Good choice on the spider riders, definitely. He's got 2 battalions now. Twice the fun, of course. Now, YodA's sending in his vast hordes towards MayShadow, who has also vast hordes. So it's just a matter of which spam faction is going to break first, I guess. Although, with the assistance of his partner's Cav, I think he might do well here. And it looks like MayShadowF has captured the signifier, so he does have the vision bonus it provides, which is quite substantial. All the way out to here. Pretty far. I like it, though. I like it. And YodA's sitting on 3 orc pits now. He's throwing down a Horadrim Palace. Getting himself a lumber mill. Lumber mills, of course, are very useful. Orc laborers are still 1 command point, but I think that's being adjusted slightly to like 2 or 3, something like that, to make them a little bit more balanced, so you can't spam them as much with no repercussions, as that seems to be a problem in a lot of games. And the Dwarves have a battle wagon. Fantastic. That'll help quite a bit. He just has to be careful not to get it stuck. The battle wagons, known for their moonwalking abilities, can get out of trouble pretty well because they're so maneuverable. They're much more maneuverable than a regular cavalry unit. Now Sania is going to be doing well, I think, against these goblins. 2 battle wagons should be very good. Even if they do get stuck, Goblin Warriors aren't very good against battle wagons. As you see there, their damage is pretty insignificant, I'd say. And I think Sania should be able to clean this up without losing this, hopefully. He might lose the mine? Nah, he won't lose the mine. He cleaned that up with ease. Now YodA has a bit of an army to deal with. MayShadow does have a tunnel in the back of the base. MayShadow is being very sneaky with his tunnels this game, which is something you really should utilize in a lot of games. I recently utilized that. Oh, there's Golem. Might be picked up with Dwarves recently. Putting a mine behind the enemy's base and then surprising attacking him. It was pretty effective. You can do that with Goblins just as well, as we've seen. So if you got a tunnel, you might as well use it to the best of its ability. Some maps it's hard to actually get behind the base, like Buckland, obviously. You can't really sneak into an enemy base with a tunnel or a mine shaft. But you can at least use it to teleport your troops around quicker, as you would expect. I think YodA should be able to hold here. With the archer support, at least. Perhaps. I think he'll be just fine. YodA is throwing down a troll cage, and he's going for Horadrim Lancers. Those should be very useful as well for helping with the harassment of these guys. We've got a lot of spider riders here. Was that 3 or 4 battalions? I think it's 3 battalion spider riders, half troll swordsmen as well. Very nice. So Hombre's got a pretty strong force. Battle Wagon's going for the oil cask, or whatever it's called. What is it called? Oil barrels. Doesn't really do too much damage initially, but if you stand in the fire, then it will burn you. It forces your enemy to move, reposition, so that's good. It does good damage to weak units though. Just not spider riders really. And in come the Hordes Relentless for a charge. Very nice. You definitely know when a Horadrim Lancer dies. They have a fairly large death scream. I say large, I meant loud. Who knows? Sania's still got both his battle wagons. He's doing a good job keeping them alive. Give him that. Got a little bit of lag. I don't know if that's built into the replay or not. It's possible. And the Dwarven army is looking pretty tough. Between the units that Gots and the battle wagon support, I think it would be pretty difficult to stop for the Goblins. Although he does have a lot of spider riders, so maybe not. He only has 1 battalion of phalanx, Sania does. So it is possible that if he can get rid of those phalanxes, he can just have a field day trampling all these guys. And we have a Meadowdale summon here. Very nice. The spider riders are going to make short work of that, I think. Ooh. I know they get slowed down pretty hard there. They're in bow mode as well. You're not really supposed to trample in bow mode. So that's not the best. I think Hombre forgot to switch them back. The half-trolls are doing fairly well though. Half-troll swordsmen are of course very strong. As are half-troll marauders, but those got cleaned up. Do you switch him back to... No, he's still in bow mode. Why is he trampling in bow mode? I mean, they can trample bow mode, but it's not as good, I don't think. Don't quote me on that, though, because I'm not actually sure. And YodA's gone for drummer trolls and mountain trolls. Very nice. Drummer trolls are great. They got the fear, and they give leadership to your units. And they're pretty tanky as well. And against spam units, they can actually kill them. Against a normal unit, their attack isn't very good. They have pretty bad attack, but against a Goblin Warrior that really doesn't have a big life pool to begin with, they're actually pretty effective. As you see, they're kicking ass over here. Very nice. Let's continue to get some more trolls. YodA's army is looking pretty strong now, I'd say. With the trolls, the Easterlings, and the Horadrim Lancers. Pretty strong combos. Especially against what the Goblins have to offer. But we'll see. We have Spiderlings out here for Hombre, I think. Yeah, these are Hombres. I don't see any of MayShadow's units over here. But it looks like Sania is making ground here, I think. And this Meadowdale Summon's definitely helping. Let me turn off my recording thing just for a second and then turn it back on, just to make sure it's not me doing the lag in the game. Okay. If there's lag persists rather, then it's not my fault. Alright, so we have Azog out here from Hombre. Very nice. Azog is a pretty good starting hero. I noticed something in the Rise of the Witch King HD texture pack. He's very green. I don't know why he's so green, but he is. He's taking a lot of damage as well. Actually, he might die here if he's not careful. Of course, the Dwarves won't be able to catch him, so... that's a missed opportunity right there, if I've ever seen one. Hombre really needs to switch his guys to spear mode. Just trample these. Why is he not trampling these guys with no pikes defending them? Pikes are over here. There he goes. Well, that's that, and then he tramples the pikes. Such is life, eh? I did see a King Brand out here somewhere. Where'd he go? There's a glowing in the mineshaft as well. It looks like the dwarves do have dwarven riches now. Oh yes. YodA sent some troops to aid his ally in his time of need, which is good, since these are his opponent's troops as well. MayShadow's, that is. Seems a little fitting. We got fire arrow upgrades and Men of Dale being able to be recruited. Somebody's summoning in Wildman. Looks like MayShadow's going for a big attack to try and take down possibly these archery range. That's a big loss. Archery is expensive to upgrade. Uh-oh. He better cancel those Men of Dale, or he's going to lose the 500 that they actually go towards making them as well. If you lose a building while it's recruiting something, you don't get the money back. He actually, I mean, he might be able to defend. That rebuild might be enough. If the battle icons get... There goes the oil barrels. I almost called an oil cast again. The oil cast is the fortress one. That's why I'm trying not to say it, because it's wrong. And he actually manages to save his archery range. Very nice. Nice teamwork and play there from the top team. And now YodA's making some ground here against MayShadow's goblin hordes. Looks like that troll does go down in his wild death dance, killing a few guys on his way down. Spider Red's with fire arrows are doing some work though. They're still alive, and they're able to kill things from range, which is nice. Let's take a look at power as while we're at. We got, of course, Dwarven Riches, 25% resource for Mineshafts from the Dwarves. He's got Men of Dale, Rebuild, Heal, Rally Call, 6 power points, 584 of 500 troops. He's actually over command point limit right now. He's lost some mines. YodA, his ally Mordor, has himself a worm. And summon as well, somewhere. Probably not in his ally's base, I would imagine. Over here, maybe? Yeah. That would make sense. Another worm will continue to destroy stuff, as he does. We got Industry, which is, of course, 300% output for a farm. War Chant, 5 Sauron, and 3 power points, 691 of 700 for YodA. MayShadow's got himself some Spiderling, some in Wildman, Cave Bats, Team Land, War Chant, 12 power points, 400 of 725. And Hombre, his goblin ally, has himself Scavenger, which is nice, very nice indeed. Cave Bats, War Chant, 11 power points, 570 of 650. Nice. Alright, so there's a nice slam shot there from King Brand. The artist formerly known as King Brand. No longer Prince. I guess he'd be formerly known as Prince. Is it too soon to make a Prince reference? I don't know. Maybe not. Not like I was ragging on him anyway. Even though I hate his music. Ugh. Of course, Prince Brand does, or King Brand rather, has toggle weapon, so he can use sword mode if he so decided to. He's still much better in a bow mode, of course. He's a bow hero after all his abilities are bow. But if you need to take down a farm, obviously you're not going to want to do it with a bow, so that's kind of nice to have the option. And of course we have Gloin here. Once he gets to level 4, he'll have Shake Foundation, which is great. And this could be very bad news for Hombre here. YodA sent some troops as well. So we see these guys just dying left and right, these horses. Got a nice trample off though. Wildman Dungeon summoned right into the middle of the archer line of Sania there. And followed up by a Watcher. I don't know if that was the best teamwork I've ever seen. Why would you summon a Watcher under your allies Wildman of Dunland? That seems very counterintuitive. Counterproductive, rather. Maybe that was delay, I don't know, but that was not the best. I would have let the Wildman of Dunland do their damage, then summoned it. That would have been the wiser thing to do, I think. But whatever, I guess it's not the biggest deal in the world. He did push back the Dwarves, temporarily, at least. Majority of them are still alive. We do have giants out to help in the battle here. Although not doing great damage. I don't actually find giants very great for countering archers like some people think. I mean, they're helpful, don't get me wrong. Sometimes you need them because really, goblins don't have too much to counter like a strong archer line like elves when you can't really get close to cav. That's the only option is giants. But they don't do the greatest amount of damage. He's doesn't also hold ground stance. Oh no, he's not. So he should do a little more damage, I think. In theory. But I mean, it takes quite a few rocks to kill some guys sometimes, which is not the best. We got black orcs, we got orc archers, trolls, we got a Mouth of Sauron up to level 2 here from YodA. continuing to make his way forward in an aggressive way, and Gothmog is out in the field as well. YodA's base is looking fearsome, as Mordor's bases always do. And he's gone for a Witch King. Well, there you go. That'll probably seal the deal for YodA, I think. Witch King is going to be very hard to stop for Goblins unless they somehow get a Drogoth in the field. And of course, you can use the Witch King to kill these giants with ease. Take, what, 2 or 3 swoops down and he'll kill a giant? Something like that. Very nice. Easy way to deal with those 1,000 resource giants. They're quite expensive. Flying units in general, a great way to deal with siege. Of course, well, the best way to deal with siege, actually, I'd say. The only thing better than to deal with this actual, like, trebucheters or catapults would be the undermine spell, or watcher. Anything that comes up underneath something kind of destroys those instantly. It doesn't destroy a giant or an ant, though. But a regular catapult or trebuchet, those instantly drop. But flying units pretty much do the same thing, I guess, if you think about it. This battle wagon needs to be a little bit careful. There are half trolls in here as well. Although they're on hold ground stance, so they won't actually auto-target there. We have a Hobbit summon. Immediately throwing down the Vile Galadriel. Very nice. Causing fear upon the goblins. See how YodA's doing over here. Against MayShadow. MayShadow's got giants. Trying to fend off these trolls. It's going to be tough though. The heroes and the strong units of Mordor are going to overwhelm them eventually, I think. We got any new powers for Dwarves? We do. Sania has hobbits, of course. Sania actually is very low on mine shafts. It's going to be hitting his economy a bit, but of course at least he has this 25% to his remaining mine shafts. And his ally could feed him money if he asked, I suppose. And of course he does have the support of the Witch King, so he should be just fine. We get 20 power points here from YodA. He's getting very close to a Balrog, I believe. It's Balrog at least. I would assume. Most people go down the Balrog tree first. Not always. I just don't remember which one's which. Of course he has industry. He's ready. He should throw down his industry when he gets a chance as well. He's very busy. That's a cool voice file. Never heard that one before. From the Black Orcs there. We have 10 power points here from MayShadow, who also has himself Darkness, which is on the field right now. He's got the Watcher as well, which we saw earlier. He has ally Hombre, much less in the farm production, or pharma department there. He's got himself Wildman Dunlin ready to be used, 11 power points. Nothing too overly scary though. Look at this thing still stands. It looks like Hombre has gone for the Fortress Armor upgrade as well. So it's going to make Dwarves pretty tough to deal with. And the Spiderling Summon's going to die very rapidly here. Sania has himself 3 of the Dwarven heroes. All he needs is King Dane, I think. And he'll have a complete set. All 4 Dwarven heroes are very strong. Of course, one of them's not really a dwarf, but... did YodA just use Darkness? I guess YodA chose Darkness. Maybe the worm was on the other side of the tree, the right side or whatever, and he didn't want Fires of Doom. Darkness, of course, will overwrite the other team's Darkness as well, which is good. So now the northern team has the benefit of Darkness, which is, of course, I believe 50% armor and damage, 33% armor and damage. But that stacks with leaderships, I believe, and stuff like that. So that's good. And now he has a strict path towards Balrog. So that'll be good as well. There's a worm summon from YodA, sending it on the base of the Goblin Hombre over here, who has himself a Fire Drake Roost. Oh, sounds like MayShadow's got himself a Drogoth the Dragon Lord. That is definitely what he needed to help counter this Witch King. Actually, might be able to finish him off if he hits him with a fireball. He could kill the Witch King. Will YodA get him away though? I don't think Drogoth wants to chase into the area. Ooh, the fireball was enough itself. Of course, not whites. Well, I guess they're kind of whites in a way, but Nazgul are weak to fire, so I guess the fireball would do a little extra damage. Unfortunate, as Witch King is very expensive. MayShadow made the right decision there, though. Definitely. And that will give them air superiority now, which is a pretty big deal, actually. Although the dwarves have pretty good archers and stuff, so he doesn't want to be... And of course we have Prince Brand, King Brand rather, keep calling him Prince Brand. He'll always be a prince in my eyes. He's a new king over the mountain. Where is he? There he is. If he gets level 7, he gets Beast Slayer Arrow. That pretty much will neutralize Drogoth if he gets anywhere near him. It does tons of damage to beasts and flying. And it turns out he's both. So you gotta watch out for that. If he gets him down a little bit, he could take him out. Sania is now on the back foot after being the aggressor for so long. His base getting attacked. He lost his siege works, which is a pretty big loss. So of course he'll have to put that out if he wants to get upgrades or anything. And of course battle wagons and siege works. Oh, Azog is about to die there. You should really use the... oh, no, I was going to say you can axe throw him. Doesn't need to, though. Gimli's going to go for the leap. Very nice. Of course, there's everything. He's already dead by the time he leapt, but still. It's the thought that counts. It looks like the southern team is now using darkness. I'm assuming it's Hombres. No. MayShadow's darkness came off cooldown already. How is that possible? I swear I just looked at it. But Drogoth, as you see here, going unopposed. But Men of Dale will do pretty good damage. Those are just some Men of Dale. They don't have fire arrow upgrades or anything. YodA's base looks fairly safe against Drogoth, though. He's got a few of these towers on each angle. He's also got a Gorgoroth Spire. So if things get dicey, he can send the giant fireball towards whatever needs to die. Turns out the troll's actually fairly tanky against Drogoth there. Look at that. He took one hit. He could at least take 3. Maybe even 4. Probably just 3, though. They really need to bring this Drogoth. Where is King Brand? King Brand's needed desperately. There's the Wing Blast, level 3. Shoots a shockwave below Drogoth, causing meta damage to enemies. So it slowly kills enemies below him. It's actually very good against spam units because it doesn't do a ton of damage, but it does enough to kill little shitty units like that. Oh crap, Drogoth got low. Did he get hit with the Beast Slayer? No, doesn't quite have it. If he gets that Beast Slayer, Drogoth is toast. I'm calling it. It's very difficult to face a leveled up King Brand with Drogoth, or any flying unit really. He just absolutely destroys them. He's kind of like a Thranduil or Legolas. Both are very good against that as well. There we go. Looks like YodA's darkness on cooldown now there. Neither team has made superior gains against the other. Like a little bit of damage was done to Sania. He didn't actually replace his forward works either. Just a bit curious. Does he not have King Dane yet? Apparently not. Got Men of Dale though. The black arrows are good too. Causes monsters to flee in terror. I don't know if that works on Drogoth. It might. But I'm not positive. It'll do more damage I think though. If I'm not mistaken. If it doesn't, it should, because the black arrows are used to slay dragons with, not. At least the Hobbit says so. There we go. Nice Fireflight. Devastating spell. In my opinion, that's Drogoth's best spell. I mean, obviously Incinerate's better, but this is quite useful because you don't have to be like right over where Incinerate does. Incinerate is a Dragon Strike more or less though, which is pretty damn powerful. Which could really do damage to a base. Or an army even. There we go, we got a Wormsome for Hombre. Very nice. And a Balrog. Undoubtedly from MayShadow. There we go. They're gonna try and cripple the dwarves here. Sania might be in a bit of trouble. If he follows this up with an attack, which he should probably send in his troops fairly rapidly soon, I think. Balrog's trying to get rid of these Men of Dale. Alright, he's gonna reposition his Balrog over to YodA's base. Good call. YodA's got a lot of buildings, a lot of expensive buildings no less. And the best use for Balrog is to destroy bases. Definitely. Especially things like this. Wow. A level 3 or level 2 Great Siegeworks actually lives through Breathe Fire. Wasn't aware of that. And a Horadrim Palace level 3 lives through a Fire Whip. Is he? And he's ignited. Really? Yeah, well, there you go. It's gonna take a few hits for his Balrog to get rid of those things. He should probably go for this. It looks like Hombre is pushing in on the other side here. Another worm summoned. Oh boy. This time it's YodA's. A defensive worm summon. That should help out quite nicely. Let's see what Balrog gets with his last breath here. He's going for the fire breath. Gonna get this orc pit. It's level 3 farm. Manages to finish this as well. Not a terrible Balrog. Could have been a little better. It did spend a lot of time walking around. But for the most part, he got a lot of the key structures. The only thing he really didn't get was Siegeworks here, which is level 3, and his troll cage there. YodA's just fine though. He hasn't really lost anything aside from a farm. But he didn't have a second one though already, I think. So I think he'll be just fine over there. Dale summon right in the back of the army here of Hombre. Now just summons for days going off here. We got hobbits, spiderlings, wildmen, more wildmen. What is this? First Frodo bringing the fear to the party. Did it work though? I've noticed sometimes the fear doesn't seem to work. Like these wildmen are not feared. Which is weird. I don't know why that would be. It happens occasionally. Oh wow. It seems MayShadowF is actually pushing forward on Hombre and making gains here. He's got a couple giants. Although Mouth of Sauron is here as well. So I think Mouth of Sauron can take out both the giants with ease. And YodA will be fine. But YodA is losing a bit of ground after that Balrog attack, I'd say. Mouth of Sauron... Where'd he go? Really should have stayed on the giant, I think. Although Gothmog's there to finish the job. We got a Watcher here. He's summoned upon the army of the Dwarves once again. The back team, or the top team, is definitely on the back foot now. So I think this is maybe the beginning of a downward spiral for them. The powers of the Goblins are very strong as well, both of them. And there you go, another Balrog. Oh man, now Hombre has a Balrog of his own. Watchers, Balrogs, Worms, all those are very strong powers. They have potential to do a lot of damage. So, I mean, Goblins really... I think Goblins have the best power set out of all teams. That's just my opinion though, but I think all their powers are pretty good. With the exception of maybe like... Summon Spiderlings isn't great. All their first powers are good. They got a Tainted Land, they got a War Chant, and they got the Cave Bats. Which all three are very good. And of course both their top powers are very good. They got Dragon and they got Balrog. Dragon I don't feel is as good as Balrog, but it's still very good nonetheless. It can take out a base just as well. But unfortunately, when you summon a dragon in, it doesn't come with a mighty explosion underneath an army or whatever like you can with Balrog. Maybe that's something they should add, like when dragon comes down, he should land, or maybe he does, I don't know. Does a dragon summon, when it lands on an army, do what like a Balrog does? Because it should. They should be even, kind of, I think. Because dragon's not as strong. But whatever. They're both very good. And now Sania is about to die, it looks like. MayShadowF sending tons of guys over here. It looks like the Witch King is back out in the field. Balrog does despawn, but Sania's base is absolutely crippled. And there is a fairly large force from Hombre on the way. This is all Sania really has. There's the slam shot, killing a few guys, but not really doing much to the half-troll marauders. With their full armor and full ground stance. Looks like YodA's thrown down a barrage on Hombre's army there. Very nice. Although a lot of them lived. They're such tanky units. Will Gimli and Slayer mode even be enough? Ooh, glowing falls there, unfortunately. Although the Witch King's going to go unopposed, as there's nothing here to actually stop him. If the northern team can turn it around, I would be very impressed, but I think the two Goblin players are going to pull out a victory here, if I had to guess. Looks like he used the Gorgo Spire at some point. Undoubtedly here, as there's a giant black mark on the map. We do have a Fire Drake being recruited by MayShadow here. Although it hasn't begun recruiting. I'm assuming he's recruiting a hero or something. Possibly Drogoth. Or maybe it's grayed out for a different reason. Maybe he's not. Maybe it's because he doesn't have the money. That would make more sense, I suppose. Do they have the money? They have the money for a thing. I think it's queued up. I guess only time will tell. But we do have Rodrum archers here with the armor. Let's take a look. Fancy. I'll do the banner. I didn't know the banner carrier looked so cool. It's got like a bird mask. Sick. Oh shit, where's that? That would be YodA's Balrog this time. Now he's gonna try and destroy as much of Hombre's base as possible. Gorko has to be a little bit careful there. Last thing you want is a fire whip from a Balrog. Nice, that shuts down the fissure production. Well, at least one of them. He needs to get rid of the other one. I would not go for the fort though. Attacking a fort with a Balrog is wasted time. Hopefully he changes what he's doing with Balrog. He's probably moving troops elsewhere or something. Definitely, you don't want to waste Balrog's timer. I mean, look how small amount of damage he actually does. He could fire whip this guy though. There you go. Nice damage to Drogoth. He needs to be very careful. I mean, YodA should know that this is not a very good use of a Balrog. I mean, look how little damage he's doing to it. He could have destroyed everything else. And now, nothing was really gained. Kind of a depressing Balrog, to be honest. But, oh well. Such is the way of things. And there's the Middledale summon. Very nice. The the darkness being casted upon them as well. And a lot of goblins fleeing to the vial. Sania's holding on, only just. The Dwarven Fortress doesn't really have much to defend it, though. He doesn't even have wall hubs or anything around it, which is a bit of, which would help, I think. He should really at least get wall hubs. I've noticed that's the thing a lot of players forget to do, is like put wall hubs around their base or something. You know, wall hubs makes it very difficult, especially with this Dwarven armor upgrade. He would take very little damage to his fortress with any melee units. It's kind of like a moat in a way. He has to get in between those little cracks between the things, and that allows only like 1 or 2 goblin warriors to actually hit the fort instead of a whole battalion. I'd say investing in that might be good. Of course, alternatively, you obviously want like a bunch of arrow towers or something if you can afford to do so. Oh my god. Monster. Just in time to see MayShadow's glorious Balrog. Send you guys flying there. Drogoth did die though. So that's a nice pickup for the northern team at least. But now, Sania's base is about to be destroyed once again. After just starting to get rebuilt. Which is a bit sad for him. I'll leave him a sad panda indeed. Oh, he's actually opted not to attack Sania's base because there's not really much there, I guess. Which is fair because there are juicier targets in YodA's base. Even the Witch King, if you can kill the Witch King with Fire Whip, ooh, that'd be worth it. Although the timer is running out. And there we go, we got Summoned Dragon from MayShadow as well. Both these are his. That's going to be pretty destructive. Balrog hasn't really got much done other than the initial summon though. Which is a bit of a bummer. He's gonna get these arrow towers, that'll be good. Majority of them at least. Actually, only you really killed like 2 of them. Weird. Oh man, this is brutal. YodA's having to bear the brunt of 2 level 25 power points. Is he hitting the corporate spider? Let's see where that's going. And kaboom! Nice hits. Killing all the goblin archers there. Very nice. Oh god, the ring has been dropped. A fire drake has collected ring for the goblins. That's not great. Between 2 goblin players, they should have the money for MayShadow pretty much has the money for it himself. And yeah, Hombre almost has it himself as well. So we could have a Sauron out in the field here at some point soon. Drogoth's gonna... Ooh. Drogoth's going out with a fiery death. Managed to firefly the majority of these men veil though. Sania is defending very well. Between him and YodA, they've held out quite nicely. This fire is a bit of a problem, I'd say. It's getting a little out of hand. Jesus. Wow, YodA's base is in tatters as well now. He's still got a level 300 palace and siege works, but I don't think that's going to be enough to keep up with the goblins. And of course goblins have fire drakes and dragons and soon to be Sauron. I bet you he's going to build Sauron. MayShadow's pretty much out of money. So I'm going to guess MayShadow might have gave him his money. Or he rebuilt his Drogoth. One of the two. Since I can't actually click and see if a hero's being built, which is a little bummer. I wish that was a feature of the replay thing. But if it was, that would be nice. Alright, well. I think it's just gonna be up to the goblins to finish the game here. Dwarves still got a pretty strong army though. Still got King Bran leading a bunch of archers. He should really use his trained archer abilities on his archers here. A lot of players forget to use their trained archer ability, but it gives good experience to your archers. And why not, right? If you got the ability, you might as well use it. It's just like the like Boromir and Faramir's like leadership or speech thing that gives experience. A lot of people forget to use that as well, including myself. But if you do, it's very nice. And there's a nasty little watcher. Absolutely wrecking the army of the dwarves. Oh man. It's really hard to fight 2 teams of watchers. Watchers are so bad. My favorite thing to do is summon the cave bats above them and then summon the watcher. Because they're all weak from armor and then they just all die. It's amazing. But yeah, most people move around in big clumps of units. You move your armies around as an army, you know? Most people do. So that makes Watcher really effective. Speak of the devil. I feel like I was just talking about the Watcher being a real pain in the ass. And there he is once again. Having a snack, no less. We actually got 7 resources for eating that guy. Is that all he's worth? A sad day indeed. You know your worth when a Watcher eats you. And then it literally tells you. Sania to lose his archery range here. Oh, he actually threw down a rebuild there. And the half-storm marauder should be killed off before too much damage is done. The Men of Dale are heroes here, though. Holy crap. They do such good damage. We have a Shelob here. Interesting. A newly recruited Shelob from MayShadow. Intriguing. Might as well at this point, right? I really do hope they are getting Sauron. That would make a glorious ending to this game. But maybe they won't, who knows. I don't think they need Sauron. Actually, YodA's coming back in a big way here. But the goblins do have this signal fire, which makes a big difference, especially when they have all their 25-point powers and stuff. I feel like every time I talk about something, it just happens. Hombre has summoned a Balrog. Looks like it was under the Men of Dale as well. So now the army of the dwarves once again crippled. Oh, King Bran got fire whipped. A brutal end to such a king. Such a glorious king. Gimli there, just being Gimli. Doing what Gimli's do best. Whatever that may be. And now Sania's base going to get wrecked once again. It's going to go for a fire breath here. Yep. Yes, indeed. I should get rid of both of these. Maybe even this. No. That'll do. That'll finish it. Wow, my timing's impeccable. Look at that. Another Balrog. So many Balrogs. This is a defensive Balrog, though. This is YodA's. Oh, he can fire whip Shelob. That could be good. Alright, he's gonna try and fly down into the south. Good call. Looks like Sania's base still being absolutely raided. A worm is there as well. Ah man, the northern team is just dying slowly. Very slowly. There he is. That's what I've been waiting for. It's supposed to play music when Sauron comes out in this new version of the patch, but apparently it doesn't work in the replays. So that's too bad. I haven't heard it myself yet, I don't think. Oh shit. Earthquake combined with a Balrog. I just hope he doesn't use the Balrog to attack the fort again, because that was painful to watch. And the goblins being hit once again with barrage. Yeah, they are on a timer now. When Sauron gets to the base is gone. He does walk though. Cool guys, of course, don't run, and they don't look at explosions either. Sauron follows both of those codes, I guess. Well, MayShadow's base got hit pretty hard, but you think he's just fine. He'll probably have tons of money in the bank to be able to fix it up. Yeah, he's got about 6k almost. And it looks like Hombre will be going for a pretty powerful attack. Of course, he has a Fires of Doom to use, as well as Sauron, just himself. Sauron gets in the fort is dead, pretty much. So, I think this is the end for Sania. The hordes of the goblins moving in once again. Ah, yes. You gotta love evil, don't you? Evil's the best. I mean, I love good teams as well, though. But evil. Evil is just so cool. Sauron makes everyone look like a bitch. Except for maybe Galadriel. Who is a bitch. And there's MayShadow's Balrog once again. That'll keep YodA in his base. Pretty much get rid of everything he has. Meanwhile, Sauron will do what Sauron does. And call Fires of Doom upon a base. He got his army a little bit too close there. Gimli's trying to... Oh, that was a... My video's finished rendering, hooray. Just in time, almost for the end of a cast. Now we'll just watch Sauron finish off Sania's base. And then YodA either will be finished off, or he'll exit out, one of the two. Sauron does pretty good damage to the base there. It's going to take him a while to kill it, though. It does have an armor upgrade on it, which does significantly increase the armor of the Dwarven Fortress. So, definitely worth getting, if you can. Dwarven Fortress is actually pretty durable, especially with a rebuild. It's taking him a surprisingly long time to die. But die he will. And down it goes. The glorious fortress of the Dwarves has fallen. And Sauron is about half-life, a little less than that. He's just fine, I think. Drogoth's level 8 here. Very nice. Not quite level 10, though. We won't see any level 10 Drogoth action, I don't think. Sania has been defeated. He's left his stuff to YodA. YodA's quit out as well. Looks like YodA lost his fort also before that. And there you go. Looks like Hombre and MayShadow take that game. A nice match. Very enjoyable to watch, I'd say. The Goblins did very well. Both teams did very well, I'd say. The Northern team did pretty good for most of the game, but they started losing ground towards the end once the goblins got a lot of their powers, which can be a bit of a problem, as you would expect. But there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed that cast, and I will see you guys in the next cast of the Rise of the Witch King patch 2.2 version 6. See y'all next time.